Hey, brothers and sisters, last week we studied about the first angel's message. We always say, brothers and sisters, this is the most important message in the Bible. The last message for planet Earth is found in the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 6 to 12. Revelation chapter 14, 6 to 12, the last message for Earth. We see in verse 12, it says, "And I saw a white cloud, and upon it sat the Son of Man." So Jesus is coming back on the earth when this message is given, like it says in verse 6, to all nations, kindreds, tongues, and people. When everybody on earth have heard this message, Muslims, Catholics, Pentecostals, evangelicals, atheists, everybody on earth, Buddhists, they have to make a decision on this message. God gives a test message similar to the times of Noah. In the times of Noah, all people from all religions, they had to come into the ark. It was not for Christians only. It was not for Catholics only. It was not for Pentecostals. It was for everybody on earth had to make a decision. Come into the ark, or if you stay outside, you die. Most Christians teach that as long as you believe in Jesus, you go to heaven. It's not true. There's a test message. God always sends test message, and we see in Revelation 14. This message is going to all kindreds, tongues, nations, people. And when everybody hear the message, those who reject it says, message number 3 says, if any man worship the beast, the Catholic Church, or his image, union of church and state, and receive his mark on his forehead or in his hand, Sunday worship, he shall receive the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And they shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of the torment ascends up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast, the Catholic Church, and his image, union of church and state, or fallen Protestantism, which is also called in the Bible the false prophet, and any man who receives the number of his name. So we see here, brothers and sisters, it is one of the most striking messages in the Bible. We almost never see such anger from God, such punishment for God. It is so, brothers and sisters, that it says, without mixture. You know, judgments were always sent in mercy by God. The first time in the whole Bible where judgments, punishment is sent with no mercy is in this third angel's message. Last week we saw that the first angel's message was about the sanctuary, cleansing of the sanctuary. It was about the time of judgment. Daniel 8:14, 2,300 days or years, and the sanctuary shall be cleansed. We saw that the shedding of blood cleanses the sin. But the sin was brought to the temple. So all year, every day, sin, the memory of sin was accumulated in the temple. So once a year, in the Day of Atonement, the Jewish people, the high priest, had to come into the most holy place. Only one person in the world, one day a year, could enter the most holy place to cleanse the sin. Revelation 14, the first angel message says, for the hour of the judgment is come. So the hour of Jesus passing from the holy to the most holy place is come. The time when Jesus, the high priest, comes once for all inside the most holy place and decide your destiny, my destiny. So in the most, so we know the work of Jesus now is in the most holy place. When Jesus died and resurrected, he went to heaven and he went to the holy place. The book of Hebrews is badly translated. Holy place is Agion, Agion. Most holy place, Agia, Agion. So sometimes it says holy place, sometimes it says holy place, and it's badly translated in English. So holy place, Hagian, most holy place, Agian, Agion. The most holy place just entered. When? Well, we see Gabriel says 2,300 years from the rebuilding of Jerusalem in 457. 2,300 years, and Jesus will enter the most holy place. So 457 plus 2,300 is 1844. Since 1844, Jesus is in the most holy place, deciding and looking at the words, the acts, the actions, the thoughts, the intentions, and deciding this one he goes to hell, this one he goes to heaven. when Jesus has finished the cases of everybody, he returns to earth. It's very important, brothers and sisters, to know the work of Jesus right now. So Jesus is starting with the people who died already, who had professed faith in Jesus from the time of Adam and Eve to about 100 years ago, because the living are judged after. This is the end. We're the last one just gonna judge. But the Bible says the judgment starts with the church of God. So Jesus starts with those who profess faith in Jesus. He judges them first, and then those who don't profess faith. This is the first angel message. Second angel message says Babylon is fallen. Okay, very interesting, brothers and sisters. So we need to know when the first angel's message was given to know what this is talking about. First of all, the angel Gabriel says in Daniel chapter 12, seal the words of this book until the time of the end. Daniel says, when shall these things be? Gabriel says, unto 1,260 days. So this is talking about the supremacy of the papacy, of the Antichrist, of Babylon, the man of sin, and the son of perdition. We find this time frame in Daniel chapter 7, Daniel 12, Revelation 11, Revelation 12, Revelation 13. This time frame to 1,260 days is the rule of the papacy, the rule of the Antichrist. Justinian gives power to the Pope, 538, he ends in 1798. So the time frame of this is that the book of Daniel and Revelation were sealed until the time of the end. So it means this prophecy of the 300 could not be given before the time of the end. Because Gabriel says, seal the things of this book until the time of the end. So it is after 1798. When we look at history, brothers and sisters, we find nobody else gave this message to the world after 1798 except a man called William Miller. I put into this video the history of this man, William Miller, because Jesus says, look for someone to give this message of the sanctuary, someone entering the most holy place after 1798. This is going to be the first angel's message. No one else in the world gave this message except this group of people and William Miller and people who follow him. So it means, brothers and sisters, the when message number 2 we're talking about today, message number 2, the stranger's message, it says Babylon is fallen. We link this to Revelation 18, which says, and it's become the house of demons. We know that Babylon, the mother, the papacy, has always been fallen, because we look at all the characteristics in the book of Daniel, the book of Revelation, it's always been fallen. It's talking about other churches that were the church of God, because one thing, pagan religions cannot fall because they were never standing. Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, all these people, they're very good people. We love all these people, they're very kind. They're going to go to heaven before us, very likely. But they were never fallen because the belief they have is not from God. It is already fallen. For someone to fall, they have to be standing. This means that these were churches that used to be standing in favor with God and they fell from the truth. We saw many times, brothers and sisters, the book of Romans, Paul says, Israel fell because of unbelief. So when we received new messages, Israel, they were the church of God. Jesus came, they said, this man is not of God. This man cannot be the Son of God, and they rejected, and they fell. Paul says they fell. When we fall, we go into darkness. God separates himself from us, and we become controlled by demons. This is why it is so important that what we believe is one part of making it to heaven, is what you believe. This is why it's very important to examine, take time to study things, Old Testament, New Testament, the Quran, all the books, everything, and to compare everything, and to take time, not to just speak without knowing, because the result of believing a lie is to fall away from God, and God separates himself from us. So the fall of Babylon here, it says these were churches that were standing. They are the daughters of Babylon. Okay, Babylon is the mother, Catholic Church. Is Buddhism the daughter of Catholic Church? No. Is Islam or Hinduism daughters of Catholic Church? No. Even the Catechism says these are our daughters. The Protestant Sunday churches are the daughters of Babylon, of the mother. Many good people in all these churches. We're not talking about the people like Islam. People, very good people. We're talking about the belief. The belief. So these daughters fell away from the truth. And message number two, very important. This is the most important message in the Bible, along with righteousness by faith. The daughters fell. And why did they fall? Why, question, brother, why did the daughters of Babylon fall in Revelation 14, the second message? It is because the first message was rejected. We see the fall happens when we reject the truth Jesus gives us. The book of Romans, Paul says Israel fell because of unbelief. Because when Jesus came, they did not believe and they fell away from the truth. In fact, it's so bad, brothers and sisters, that Paul says that they are cut from the tree. But God, if they do not remain in unbelief, God is able to graft them in again. So the fall is not just something simple, brothers and sisters. It is to be like a branch and you cut from the tree. You go away from the tree. The tree is God. You don't belong to God anymore. So this is what happens. This is what the book of Revelation says in the second angel message. It says Babylon fell. The daughters fell because when this first angel's message was given by William Miller, the three angels message, and it was rejected by every church. So many people accepted, most people rejected. So they fell away from the truth. They were cut from the tree. It means these churches, Sunday Protestant churches, are in the condition of Laodicea. No, sorry, they're in the condition of Babylon. Okay, you look in the book of Revelation, chapter 18, it says they become the house of demons. Ellen G. White says they are not in full condition of Babylon right now. They are not full Babylon because many people don't know of these churches, Pentecostals, evangelicals, everything. Many of them never heard this last message. The message we give today, brothers and sisters, is not a game. It is life or death. If we reject this message, we receive mark of the beast, and we receive 7 last plagues. We receive the wrath of God without mixture. If we accept this message, brothers and sisters, we receive the seal of God, and we can go to heaven. Because something great is coming, brothers and sisters. Something amazing is coming to the earth. This is why we need to read the book, The Great Controversy. Many of you, brothers and sisters, you don't read the book. Read the book, The Great Controversy by Ellen G. White, and read the book, Uriah Smith, Daniel, and Revelation. It exposes, like no other books in the world, what's coming to the earth. Many of you believe in God, everything. You want to know what's coming. Read this. Those books are the most powerful, the most amazing, the most intense books about the end of the world. They explain in clarity the true message for the end times. It is not the false gospel, like rebuilding the temple, rebuilding Israel, everything, all this. This is the false prophecy, brothers and sisters. So God bless you, brothers and sisters. Have a good day.